Marissa and Morningstar for the opening tip. It is controlled by North Allegheny and Courtney Roman as Roman gets it ahead to Martindale. Her first shot blocked, however, as Marissa comes up with the basketball. Peters Township, right to left as we see it, clad in the red jerseys with the black numbers. North Allegheny wearing the home whites as the higher seed with the black numbers. Marissa backs the basketball onto the Pitt logo. She's covered tightly by Morningstar. You mentioned how suffocating this defense can be for the Tigers. To that point, they nearly force a steal. Contested shot rattles home for Lillian Young. Degree of difficulty high, but Peters Township on the board.
Yeah, the Edinburgh commit able to get it to fall even through some traffic. A little hometown roll, hometown touch. Maybe you got that from the preseason.
The drive inside for North Allegheny. Goes for 2 points, courtesy of the freshman Lizzie Gretsch, hoping to make it a golden weekend for the Gretsch family. Her brother, Dave, captured gold yesterday for Sewickley Academy's boys team.
So it does feel like we've been saying the name Gretsch a lot here this weekend for two very different teams.
Now Peters Township with the basketball in the half-court set. Ziegler looking for the handoff, throws it to McKenna. Marissa right back to Ziegler. Three-pointer rattles out. Basketball tipped around out of bounds. It will go to North Allegheny.
Yeah, good look there. I like the quick back-and-forth passing, get it right back, get the defense moving, and open look from downtown. Just could not quite get it to fall there for Ziegler.
Rachel Martindale, the leading scorer for North Allegheny, just over 15 points per game. She's a great basketball player. She also is a tremendous softball player. Her original commitment to Pitt, however, negated. Now she's looking to play basketball at the next level as the Tigers add a three-pointer from the corner, courtesy of Courtney Roman. It's 5-2 in favor of the undefeated North Allegheny squad.
We'll talk about this more, but Roman kind of worked her way into the starting rotation and has now stayed there with the injury to Bryn Serbin. Serbin will play tonight. She's missed most of the year, but they'll be alternating and go almost 10 deep, will the Tigers.
Marissa double team, finds a teammate open underneath. Up for 2 points is Ziegler. That makes it 5-4, and a good job passing out of that double team by Marissa.
Yeah, exactly, and splitting the double team and not panicking, knowing she has 5 seconds and finding the open player.
Morningstar for 3. That one off iron, tipped around by Fisher, and Morningstar runs it down. Now the basketball out of bounds. The officials confer. They say it stays with North Allegheny. Your 3 officials in this one, James, it's Dara Loftian, John Palco, and David Lawrence.
A tough one there, right in front of the Peters Township student section, so they, of course, are going to let the officials hear it right off the bat.
Fisher, pull-up jumper, rattles home. Friendly iron for Madeline Fisher as she gets on the board, extending the lead to 7-4 for North Allegheny.
And 3 players with the 3 baskets in the early going for North Allegheny. Now almost a steal for Fisher.
Young able to come up with the loose ball. It leads to a 3-point attempt. That off the mark, and the rebound corralled by Martindale. Martindale's drive cut off. Now she moves it up top. The Morningstar, good ball fake as she backs her way in and dishes to the corner. Now a baseline drive for Lizzie Gretsch. 2 points for her. She's quickly on the board with a pair of field goals.
And I like the pump fake, and just not cutting off the baseline, though, for Peters Township. Made it a really easy path to the basket for the freshman.
All 5 starters for North Allegheny average 8 or more points.
What was the over-under on the jacket?
Yeah, Stefko, the head coach for NA, he is one of the more animated coaches you'll see at any level of athletics, as a difficult shot by Young off the mark, and the rebound goes to Fisher underneath.
And we had the joke of how long he would keep that jacket on. In less than 3 minutes into the ball game, he's lost the jacket. Now we wait for the tie. Morningstar
wide open. She's a dangerous perimeter shooter, misses everything, but an offensive rebound by Gretsch, who seems to be everywhere in the early going. Back to Morningstar. This time she drives, backs her way along the baseline. Pass was tipped out of bounds, and will stay with the Tigers.
Yeah, try to think to be a little too fancy with that pass. Was double-teamed, even triple-teamed there in the paint, and we're going to have a timeout quickly here for Peters Township as they trail in the early going.
4:31 remaining, quarter number 1. It is 9-4 in favor of North Allegheny.
Mind you that this game and the broadcast rights to this game are the sole and exclusive property of the WPIAL and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Any broadcast of this game is intended exclusively for the benefit of the listening audience, and any use, rebroadcast, or distribution of this broadcast without the express written consent of the WPIAL and the Trib Live High School Sports Network is strictly prohibited.
You see Burt Kendall talking to his squad, Spencer Stefko doing the same. We mentioned the title success for Stefko. 3rd year at North Allegheny. He's guided the Tigers to the championship all 3 years. The first time they lost in a heartbreaker in overtime to Norwin. Knocked off Bethel Park 50-39 last year to surprisingly win the first ever WPIAL girls basketball title in school history.
With an asterisk to that one, as the 1972 champions, that was the Western Girls Basketball Association. The year before, it officially became a WPIAL sanctioned sport.
And of course, prior to that, 2 years, 2 championships for Steph Coe guiding Seton LaSalle. What a Rebels team that was. Before that, he had success at Chartiers Valley as well.
We have a pause in the action as there's a discussion at the scorers table. Remind you, these two teams played not too long ago, Sean, back on the 8th of February in a non-section game. It was a close contest throughout most of it, but then North Allegheny pulled away late to a 13-point advantage in the end. Knocked down 12 three-pointers in that game, and you heard when we were talking to Coach Kendall before the game that obviously, that's something that they need to try to do better on is closing out of those three-point shots. And also we've seen all weekend, the outside shot, much more difficult to do when you have the open space around the gymnasium here at the Pete versus what you normally see.
And a substitution for North Allegheny. The Tigers wanted to bring Bryn Serbin into the contest. Now, for some reason, she's forced to stay at the table.
She must not have checked in before the first horn sounded.
Serbin had started a number of games throughout her career at NA, now coming off the bench, and that seems to be a role well suited for her as Roman misses everything on a three-point attempt. Tipped around by Gretch. Morningstar runs it down. Now a straight-on three-pointer. That shot by Martindale comes up short, but Fisher snags the rebound. Great job on the glass for North Allegheny. Now a drive inside by Martindale. A foul committed by Peters will send her to the charity stripe. Rebounding was the other key for Coach Burt Kendall thus far. That has not worked in favor of Peters Township.
Well, it's 6-1 in favor of North Allegheny, and 4 of those 6 are on the offensive glass. So, and I really like on that play, too, as you see Martindale get hacked. She missed the 3. There was a 3 missed earlier in the possession. She says, enough with that. Let's go and get some easy points. Go to the rack, get fouled, get a couple free throw attempts.
Now Serbin legally checks into the contest. The personal charge to Ziegler. The first foul of this game as Martindale strokes both foul shots, extending her team's lead to 11-4. NA plays some pressure defense. Indians able to throw the basketball over the top, however. Now a drive inside. Shot off of glass, no good, but a follow-up opportunity by Lillian Young. High off of the backboard for 2 points. That makes it 11-6, and now a dose of their own medicine as North Allegheny could not corral the defensive rebound.
And that's big right there. I like the drive to the lane initially, but then even better, getting the offensive bound and put it right back up and in.
Gretch to Morningstar off a front iron and in. Piper Morningstar gets her first points, and all 5 starters now on the score sheet for North Allegheny.
What do we say? Balance? That's the key, and that's exactly what they have right now. 2 points, 3 points, or 4 points for all 5 starters for the Tigers.
A little more than 4.5 minutes into this contest. The Tigers more than doubling up their adversary. Basketball tipped off of North Allegheny, so it stays with Peters Township.
And every time Marissa's coming across the court, North Allegheny is immediately rushing 2 defenders at her to double her and try to get the ball out of her hands. Averaging 23 points per game, not a bad strategy to try to keep it away from her as much as possible.
She has the basketball now, pull-up jumper, no defense for that. She's on the board. McKenna Marissa averaging 23 points per game and 9 rebounds as well.
And that's exactly it right there, Sean, is that even with a hand interface, she makes a tough shot look easy. You got to try to contest as much as possible.
Morningstar double-teamed. Passes to Serbin. Serbin lets a 3 fly, and it banks in from a difficult angle. That wasn't the game plan, I don't think, for Serbin, but she'll take it.
I thought the banks closed early on Saturday. I guess not. Bryn Serbin allowed to keep them open early.
3-point attempt the other way, off the mark, and Gretch corrals the rebound.
She's got 3 bounds already, and is really controlling the glass.
Now she's going to take a straight-on 3, and Gretch strokes it, making a massive impact. 7 points already for the freshman. She's certainly not playing like one.
No, not at all. And there's a lot of confidence. Mentioned confidence for the freshman for Peters Township, but a lot of freshmen for Lizzie Gretch, and that's probably from having to play against older brother a little bit as well.
Marissa moves the basketball to Ziegler. Suffocating defense on her by Martindale. Now it's Mills. She gets it back to Marissa, who back it out and reset.
There's the defense, all in your face, pressure defense for North Allegheny, not allowing many points at all this year.
Difficult step back shot, misses everything. Offensive rebound. Now the basketball's tipped around. Peters Township comes up with it. Mills takes a long 3, that one off the mark, and Fisher clears the glass.
Fisher says enough with that. Go up and get the loose ball as quickly as possible, get it at its highest point.
Martindale for three, off to the iron. Morningstar comes up with it. Now she's stripped of the basketball. It's on the floor. And the whistle blows.
I believe they're going to get a foul call here.
Peters Township. Indeed, it is the first foul against North Allegheny and on Piper Morningstar.
Right now, just rebounds completely in favor by an 8-3 margin in favor of North Allegheny. Just really tough when you're getting second and third opportunities. And really, that's where you've seen the best opportunities on the other end for Peters Township, is when they've had that second chance, but just couldn't convert on that last trip.
Very deep North Allegheny team sometimes goes 10 players deep as Marissa strokes the three-pointer.
Little crossover, little step back, behind the back dribble, nothing but net from the top of the key.
That makes the score 19-11. Morningstar was looking to get the pass back door. Instead, it's Martindale from 6 feet, and she strokes it.
That was a very difficult shot she made look very easy. I like the idea on the backdoor cut. It was there for a moment, but not wanting to force the pass too early in the possession. I like the patience there by the Tigers.
It was the recently inserted Audrey Lane who made that pass, and now Marissa answers the other way. She's starting to heat up, James.
And that one, not from beyond the arc, but just steps right in, about a 12-foot jumper. And if she can get that penetration, especially if they run that double team, if she splits that double team, then the ball is completely in her control to do whatever she wants to do, and that's where things can get really dangerous.
21-13 in favor of North Allegheny. Just over 20 seconds remaining in quarter number one. We play 4 8-minute quarters here at the high school level. We should note the three-point line in effect here tonight for the high school games is the blue line, not the deeper white line. Morningstar drives, ball fake, off of glass. What a take. Rachel Martindale's been terrific here. And now the final seconds tick off. Desperation heave, misses the mark. North Allegheny holding a 10-point lead after the first 8 minutes. It's 23-13 in favor of the Tigers. We'll step aside. We'll get you back for quarter number 2. You are watching 2018 WPL Girls Basketball Championships, sponsored by Carlow University. It's here. It's on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.